Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday morning, July 7th at 7:22. Yesterday was a busy day. So yesterday at work in the afternoon, I felt this very frantic energy from everybody, and the phones were busy, and I remember thinking, God, did something happen that I don't know about? And I really didn't have time to do any investigations because it was so busy. And of course, when I got home, I found out things had happened. In case you haven't heard this, Tarot by Janine got her main channel deleted yesterday. I guess not really any warning or anything, and it's just gone. So you cannot find it right at the moment. The only one that she has left is Tarot by Janine Sending Ravens. So I'm sure she'll be doing some things on that. I don't know what her plan is going forward, but that happened yesterday. Of course, we know what happened in the great state of Georgia, or some of you do, some of you don't. I'm going to say, if you're stumbling on my channel and you don't know what the Georgia guide stones are, I don't know if that will trigger anything, but it seems to have been making the rounds enough that maybe it's starting to make mainstream media news. I don't know. I mean, it's all over like regular news. I don't know if it's on like ABC, NBC, whatever, on those channels. But so that happened, and that was pretty exciting. And then Phil Godlewski did a short live last night. And of course, right in the middle of it, he got cut out. But thankfully, he came back and did like a 7-minute another video that was like the main intel drop. So this is what I got from what he said last night. And one, that the stuff that happened in Georgia was a direct energy hit from the White Hats. And it came from inside those stones, not like an explosion or an earthquake or whatever, like a lot of people are talking about. And the other thing that he said that was on the second video that he did, which I did post in Telegram, I'm going to say go watch that because that was probably the biggest news, that the 2020 competition that we've all been waiting to be flipped over has already officially happened, and the thing that is stopping it from coming out to the general public is that they needed to make sure all of the justices and their families were protected, because once this comes out, there's still some people out there, I don't know what percentage of them, that could aim to do harm, possibly, to those people that made that decision to change things back to the way they should be. So he said, I mean, that's pretty big news in my opinion. And so it's already been done. It's just a matter of bringing out. And he said he had known about that for a couple of weeks, but he was told not to say anything. I would imagine if that was true, it was making sure that all of the people were protected, families and extended families and whoever. So that was pretty big news if that is true. And I say if that is true, I mean, right now we don't know if anything is true. The other thing that I want to talk about is I did a past life reading over the weekend that had some interesting stuff. I mean, like super interesting stuff and very validating. She was able to validate almost all of the things that came out. I had 3 different lives or stories or however you want to define that. I also have my first off-planet life that came, and that might be because I have elevated my abilities over the last few years from when I was doing them in the past, because I do quantum healing sessions. I don't know, whatever the case is. The one that has the most significance for me right at the moment is this weather that is going on. It has been hot, very hot in Indiana. It was 97 on Tuesday. And I know a lot of people live with hotter weather than that, but Indiana is not used to that kind of stuff. I also watch a particular homesteading channel, and she was talking about they have had so much rain. I think they live up in Idaho. They have had so much rain that the gardens are having a hard time growing. And when I came home Tuesday night, I remember thinking, I'm like, I'm going to start praying about this weather, because this is some serious stuff going on here. And then I remembered what came out of that past life reading over the weekend, and this is kind of the main story. It was a man who owned probably a grapevine or a wine industry type thing, but he had lots of farmland, and he was working with the dark side to make his flourish and make the other farmers around the community not flourish. His daughter figured out what he was doing and basically went around and taught all of the different farmers how to manifest making their gardens and their farms and help with the weather or whatever flourish, instead of having that negative aspect that he was working and trying to make them like shrivel up and die. He wanted to buy their land. So the whole story was, it was basically a dark against the light story, and she used her powers for good and for the light to help turn around the farming, the weather, and she taught that to people. And I kept saying she was very powerful. She was very powerful. And I got to thinking, I'm like going, well, if she was able to do that in a previous life, we ought to be able to do that in our current life. Of course, we have been taught that we're not that powerful. And I know there's got to be a way to do that. There has to be a way for us to circumvent some of this heat that all of us are going through, some of the rain that communities are having that is affecting, the farms and everything. So I think we need to seriously take that into consideration, knowing that one single person in a past life had the ability to bring about some positive change in a community. What if we were all working on that as a whole because we believed that we could do that? I think I have one particular person that watches my channel. I don't know if she watches it all the time, but I'm pretty sure I got an email from her. I don't know, it was like last year, and she was talking about some of the abilities that she had, and it seemed like one of them was being able to change the weather on demand. And I know that sounds kind of strange because we've not been taught that we can do that, but I believe we can. Now the thing is just trying to figure out how to do it. I mean, Native Americans did rain dances. I'm sure they worked with the different abilities and whatever they had to, I guess the law of attraction, basically. So anyway, this is something to think about. And if any of you have that ability or believe you have that ability or think you know how to do that, I would be really interested in knowing. Because frankly, having this extreme heat wave that is coming through affects a lot of things. It affects the growing seasons around for the food supply. It affects all of the animals. It affects, our electric bills in the negative. So there's a lot of issues coming with this heat wave or this extra rain and the flooding and stuff. I don't know. I mean, am I crazy to think that we can actually change this for the positive? I just got shown in a past life reading that was able to happen. So anyway, I've got 2 more coming up this weekend that I'm going to do. And then I'm probably going to open up my books again to probably do, I think 4 at a time. Because then I'm like going back and forth on times and time zones and everything, and try not to get myself overwhelmed and screw up my times and dates and everything like that. Anyway, so that's kind of the news. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. I had the end of the month at work last week, and when it's end of the month, you know, sometimes I just need to concentrate on my job and not be replying to messages and everything. So anyway, I hope you're all doing well. Leave me a message in the comment. Let me know what's going on. Have I missed any important news? You know, those are the main things. Janine got took off. What happened in Georgia? Phil's little intel drop that he did last night. I definitely see things are happening and changing, and it does feel like it is speeding up. It's like I'm kind of like going, holy crap, this is really happening. And if people can't see that, I'm sorry that you don't see what's going on. Bet you will. I'm pretty sure of it. So anyway, talk to you later. Bye.